Hi students, let's look at this concept here, which is how to sketch the cosine curve. Just like the sine curve, the cosine curve is actually a sinusoidal curve. Instead of actually starting from 0, you start from positive 1. So the curve looks something like that. So just imagine this is 1 here. It starts from 0, 1, and after you go down and go up. So actually, it's similar to the sine curve in terms of its shape. It's actually a phase shift. So if you were to shift the sine curve, let's look at the sine curve here. Let's say I just put this as plus a. I can actually, let's say it's 0. So if this is the sine curve here, okay, I could actually shift it to the other side and superimpose it with my cosine curve. All right. So essentially what we have here is the same curve. So the steps of sketching the cosine curve is actually similar to that of sketching the sine curve, just that what you do is you start from 1. The amplitude, as usual, the amplitude meaning the displacement from the line of equilibrium, this is actually 1 and minus 1. So the period is actually, amplitude is 1 for cosine curve, right? The period is actually either 2 pi over 1, so 2 pi here, or 360. Okay, so it's very similar. A period is just like the sine curve. This is one period, 4 quadrants, because you realize that it repeats every one period here. So this is one period here, then this is the same period here. Okay, so that's the idea of the sine curve here. The max value is, of course, cosine x max value is 1, mean value is minus 1. So this is actually, you could put this as 2 pi, then the halfway through here would be pi, and this would be 3 over 2 pi. Or you can just put this as t actually, a period over 2. Actually, this is this is 2 pi and pi. This will be 3 over 2 pi, and this will be pi over 2. Okay, so you are required to know how to draw this curve here. Just be mindful of that. Now let's look at, so this is a cosine curve. If you want to sketch the curve in terms of a cosine bx, so what you need to do is to know that the amplitude now, instead of 1, this will just increase by a. Okay, so this is a and this is minus a. Here's minus a, and this is 0, right? So this is actually a. The amplitude is a. Period, on the other hand, this is actually 2 pi over b, 2 pi over b, and this is 360 degrees over b, right? This side here. And this case here, this will be, if you divide by, so I'm just put this as period, which is t. This is t over 2, and this is t over 4, and this is actually 3/4 t. Alright, the mean max value of cosine bx is similar to that of the sine. This is actually 1. Okay, 1, because if you look at it, regardless of where bx is at, the maximum is 1. So the sine curve will go to 1. Now I'm looking at the cosine curve here. Cosine bx is also is negative 1, say similar to the sine curve there. Okay, so we're going to take some time to just fill up this whole diagram here. So the amplitude, as usual, this will be the amplitude, which is 10. The period is 10. Okay, the period will be, in degrees, will be 360 divided by 3. Okay, so this is 120. So period in radians will be 2 pi divided by 3 as well. So this is 2/3 pi. The maximum value of y will be y equals to 10. This max, cosine max, will be 1. So this is 10. Minimum value of y will be 10 times minus 1. This is minus 10. Okay, so just quickly fill in the blanks here. Try filling it yourself before we go on. So this case here, amplitude will be 4. Okay, we know that the amplitude is 4. Period will be 360 divided by 2. That will be 180 degrees. Alright. The next one will be 2 pi divided by 2, which is actually pi radian. Alright. And this is degree. Okay, then after which we have y, which is actually 4 times 1. The maximum value will be 4. And y will be 4 multiplied by negative 1. Minimum will be negative 4. Okay, so these are the answers here. Amplitude here will be 1. Just know that this is 1 in front. And the period in degrees is 360 degrees divided by 2/3. B. Alright. So take 360 divided by 2/3. Just bring your calculator. Here, so this is 360 divided by 2/3. That will give us 40 degrees, right? Then 2 pi divided by 2/3. Now remember, it's actually 2. Just take the number that's 2/3 like that. So without the pi, okay. So this is actually 3 pi. 3 pi. How come it's yeah. Okay, great. So max value of y will be y equals to 1 times 1, which is 1. And then mean value of y will be y multiplied by 1 minus 1, which is -1. Okay. Then similarly for the subsequent one, you have got amplitude as 1 here. So this is 1. Then period will be, period is actually in degrees will be 360 degrees divided by half, which is 720 degrees. Okay. Then this will be 2 pi. Oh, sorry. This is tricky because the b here is pi over 2. Okay. So just think of that. So this is 360 divided by pi over 2. And the answer would be, for this period in degrees, would be 720 degrees over pi. Okay, very important. This one will be pi divided by pi over 2. So this will just be 2 pi divide by pi. Maybe I shouldn't skip step for the previous one as well. So this is 2 pi half 2 over pi, and this will give us 4. So similar with this one here, this is actually 360 divide by pi over 2, which is 360 multiplied by 2 over pi, and this will be 720 divided by pi. So this is algebra, just take note of that. The maximum value is just 1 multiplied by 1. This is 1 in front, so this is 1. And the mean will be 1 multiplied by -1. That will be -1 here. Alright, so just take note of that. Anyway, we will try and apply this concept here for the subsequent questions. Let's look at the subsequent part.